Hi, friends. It's your favorite spooky friend, David Dastmalchian, host of Grave Conversations. Season 5 is just around the corner, coming up on May 13th. Before we begin, though, I wanted to take a stroll down memory lane with all of you and give you a look at some of my personal favorite brushes with mortality we've heard about on the show. Some are funny, some are heartbreaking, but all of them make me so appreciative of all of our guests who open up and get so vulnerable with me and with all of you. Enjoy. Number 10, Weird Al Yankovic.
Like a couple of years ago, I was really hungry and I was eating a bunch of French fries really quickly and I started choking. And part of me was like afraid that I was gonna die, but I was even more afraid of the headlines, like Weird Al eats it, which is really lazy journalism.
Number 9, Nathan Fillion.
My brother and I were standing next to each other over my grandfather's deathbed, and he was going out pretty slow. And my brother looked at me and said, "If I ever get like that, you take a pillow and,
I get it. Yeah, well, yeah.
clear each other's browser history and bust out the pillow."
Number 8, Rachel True.
I never, ever, ever thought about death in my life up until a few years ago. I had little brushes with it when I was younger, but I think because we keep it so separate and over there, I just never really thought about it. And now I'm a couple of years younger than my dad was when he died. So all of a sudden I started thinking about it all the time. And now I'm a night owl. And now at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I tend to clean up the house just in case I die in the night and my sister has to figure out what to do with me.
Number 7, Violet McGraw.
Last year in the beginning, the first 3 months of 2024, I actually was struggling a lot with depression because I was thinking of that stuff. And I would just cry in my room a lot at night alone because I thought I had nobody to talk to about it. Because I was on location filming and I came across this one stupid TikTok and it was what happens after you die? And it's you forget everybody that you loved and whatever on earth. And I was that is so scary and sad because obviously we don't know if that's true, but that's what's really scary is because you don't know what happens after you pass on. You don't really know what to expect.
Well, I have some bad news for you. I'm half a century old now and it still freaks me out sometimes. So.
Lucky number 6, Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, right now, my dad's sick and I had a friend die, took his own life a couple years ago, and a friend OD, so it's around me. Mm-hmm. And I also think as a father, I know I'm leaving a legacy for my kids, and so, I don't know. I'm at the age where my parents are getting older, and my wife's parents are getting older, and so, I don't know, it's just really present for me right now.
Number 5, James Gunn.
My grandfather, I had 4 grandparents, and 3 of them were in terrible shape. I thought they were going to die at any minute. I had 1 healthy grandfather. He walked out to get the mail one day and had a massive heart attack and died on the spot without ever any warning whatsoever. I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
Just like that.
And that's a pretty good way to go. But it was also a little hard for the family because it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Whereas with my dad, he passed away. Everybody got to say goodbye. We all felt as comfortable as we could be with the passing of the person we loved most in the world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But my dad had some pain with death. My grandfather did not.
There has to be a happy medium in there, I think. My dad, it was so long. I think I said bye to him 6 times over the course of 2 years. I did the big okay, we're gonna have the goodbye conversation.
Yeah.
Did, and then it would last long. My mom, though, it was
Your relationship
so fast.
with your dad was more difficult.
It was really complicated. So I was grateful I had that much time to say goodbye. The first couple times were a bit of a strikeout. And then we nailed it by the last one. But Mom was so fast, it was too abrupt.
Number 4, Mark Duplass.
Do you think about death and dying a lot?
I do. It doesn't scare me. And it may be because I've dealt with a lot of fear and a lot of depression through my life. And I've had thoughts about what it would be if I weren't here. You know, there's always that moment in a movie when you're 10 minutes away from the climax where a character's about to die and they'll say something like, gosh, you know, I wish we had just had more of those moments, like that one perfect Sunday where all of us were getting along at the English countryside, and they only have like one of those good family memories. I have thousands. I have spent thousands of beautiful moments with my family, my children, my wife, my parents, and so I'm selfish and I want more of them.
That's so good.
That said, when that shark comes for me, I might freak the fuck out.
Sure. You're the first person that's apex predator. Everyone else, it's like in my sleep.
No, torn apart by wild animals.
sharks.
But I think I just realized something. Whenever I hit a roadblock, I put so much pressure on myself to overcome it, not only for myself, but for my community. And I've done a great disservice to myself in some ways by having a lot of fortitude and being quite good at those things, and it exhausts me. And that's part of my depression, I think, is a level of exhaustion. And to be in the sights of a great white shark in the dark in the ocean means there's no more ways to pivot. And it's surrender. That's why I like dying that way. Oh, you're just gonna give this one up. You're not getting out of this.
Yeah.
That feels nice.
Number 3, Erin Moriarty.
I never had to confront my own mortality, but I always thought that hopefully that would have left some sort of contagious mark on me. And this past year when I was sick, it made me realize I never want to exist in a prolonged state in my body where I'm in severe discomfort, but also made me question things that, like, essentially, I got to a place in this past season of filming The Boys, actually, but in my life where, unbeknownst to me for a couple of years, I had had this autoimmune disease developing. And by the time I was diagnosed, I could barely walk. My mom was visiting me at one point, and she walked to the pharmacy to buy me a thermometer because my temperature was soaring. And I'm someone, like I said, who would work out all of the time, get so much joy from exercise. I went from being someone who worked out 5 days a week and like really valued strength to not being able to walk down the block. And I'm just saying this to kind of relay the severity that some autoimmune diseases, the way they can manifest. And I wish I had known what was going on, but I just didn't, because prior to that, I was just exhausted all the time. And I thought that I was stressed out, but I also would see the doctor and I would sort of communicate something was going on. Something happened, which kind of, I'm still metabolizing the way it impacted me, which was the disbelief that you can sometimes see in people's faces when you're going through something that is, in that moment, life or death. Anyway, I remember like going to work and trying to figure out shirts that were appropriate to wear without a bra because I couldn't clasp my bra because my hands were too weak. Wow. It was so severe, David. It's something that, like, to this day, to put myself back into that state or like really go there mentally is hard for me. But
and
I remember
you're a public figure. You have everyone's looking at you. Plus, you're going to set, so everyone's looking at you. The day revolves around you.
I have to be on screen.
The day needs Erin to be at 100%. She's not only just an actor; she's playing a superhero, and you're unable to even like reach behind your back and clasp a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And even speaking about it now is like, I'm so glad to be, because it's cathartic for me, and it feels important as well, because obviously I had no idea what was going on. I knew that I'd taken the test to find out if I had Graves' disease, but at that moment I was waiting several weeks to get the test back. And I was lying in bed at one point and my temperature was soaring. I was sleeping most hours of the day. And I remember like really, really seriously contemplating who I was going to reach out to that night to please ask them to take care of my dog if I died that night. Because I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I mean, I remember once again lying in bed, because I was lying in bed constantly during that time, unless I was at work, and thinking, what matters to me, and this was a wild thought to have at that time, because I had lived for work. I've worked since I was 15, really 11, and everything has been about work, and I've loved it. And I don't regret anything. But I remember lying in bed and thinking, if I die tomorrow, what matters to me is I've navigated life being a kind person, and that taught me so much.
Number 2, Kevin Smith.
And having almost dropped dead 7.5 years ago from a massive heart attack and whatnot, I did get to taste the void. There was thought of, oh my God, I could be shuffling loose this mortal coil tonight because I was having a Widowmaker, and 80% of the cases, the patient always dies. 80% of the cases, the exact same heart attack I was having, patient don't make it through. So I was sitting there in that moment going like, this could be the last ceiling I look up at. And now that I think about it, I looked like this, but heavier. So I sat there going like, start the movie. You know, you're supposed to see your life flash before your eyes. And I was like, well, I ain't waiting. Like, I'm fucking bored. Like, guys disappeared down in my crotch and made magic and shit. That's how to get to your heart, through your femoral artery. So periodically I would look down and I saw the top of this dude's head bobbing up and down, and I was like, well, hope he knows what he's doing. And he did. But while I was laying there looking up, I thought I started the movie and went through everything. And I'm not saying, and I was cured of my fear of death, but the dude saved me at the end. Clearly I'm still here. And ever since then, I haven't been quite as afraid of dying. You know, more disappointed at the notion that the party ever has to end, because that's predicated on me thinking that the moment I die, life is going to be as enjoyable as it is for me right now. But it could be at the moment that I die that I'm going to be like, oh, thank God, get me off this fucking roller coaster. But right now, still, even though I'm not scared of it, as scared as I was when I was, through most of my life until age 47, I don't welcome it. But that being said, if I had to pick a route into it, dying in my sleep sounds real fucking good. Mm-hmm. But that just then means like, well, you should be prepared. Like, what happens if you die in your sleep tonight? And that's what I try to live like now at this point. Like I've been telling Jen for 7.5 years, like I'm living on borrowed time. She's like, don't say that. I was like, no, I am. I was supposed to be dead. Like a heart attack that's supposed to take out 80% of the people that have it. By all odds, I should have been fucking dead. But I'm here, so I know for a fact I'm living on borrowed time. You're living on borrowed time too. Like I have the painful awareness of fucking knowing it.
Number 1, Jameela Jamil.
I've been very, very sick and have come very close to death 4 times. And that's been terrifying when it's happened because it's not on my timeline. You know, it's not when I plan to go. Wow. It just kind of grabbed me at like 8 o'clock in the morning when I haven't even had a fucking coffee yet. And then I'm just dying. And then that has made me go, oh shit, in those moments where I can feel my heart is giving up on me. I've been thinking about this fucking guy and these fucking dogs and my fucking friends, and then being like, oh no, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Because in my suicidal ideation world, I'll get to say goodbye. But now life keeps being almost taken from me when I least expect it. And now I want to live for the first time ever. And now I'm having panic attacks because now I understand anxiety. I've never really understood anxiety fully because I'm like, you could just kill yourself. It's not a big deal. And it's like, you don't have to be here for all this. And now I want to be here. I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck here now. So everything, when it gets hard, I understand what it's like to actually bear down and imagine dealing with it. And it feels terrible. And I can't believe people have been feeling this way all their lives. And now I want to get the suicide ideation back. And I know that sounds flippant and wrong, but I was happier.
You're stuck with us.
Fuck.
You're stuck with us.
I don't want it.
We're keeping you around.
No.
We're so lucky we get to keep you around. I love this world with you in it.
Is what I said really dangerous to say?
It's not really dangerous because here's the thing. What's dangerous is not saying it. What's dangerous is letting people live out there in the world, walking around like so many of us do on a daily basis, going, I'm the only motherfucker that sits here thinking about how to go for a walk and make it look like an accident that I fell so that my poor family doesn't have to think that I did this on purpose. I'm the only motherfucker walking around thinking, my God, if I just didn't have to wake up tomorrow, I wouldn't have to feel the way that I feel right now.
Yes.
And the fact that you just talked about that and the fact that someone out there is watching that, it's not pushing them closer to doing the act. What it's pushing them closer to doing is feeling less alone in the world.
All these wonderful things happened in my life because I did stick around. And I do want to remind people of that, is that the moment passes, right? Suicide,
Always passes.
That suicide is like often, it's an especially bad week, day, hour, minute, you know, where you feel tipped over the edge. And I'm so glad I've stuck around, and I've experienced so many wonderful and some terrible, but things for having stuck around here. And I'm glad I stayed. And now I actively want to stay, which is so annoying.
Thank you, friends, for watching. I'll see you soon. And don't forget, Season 5 is May 13th.